Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm going to start something a little bit new. As I read my graphic novels, I've been kind of putting them in a separate stack. And I think what I'm going to do is at the end of each month, I'm going to go ahead and pick maybe the top 3 to top 5 graphic novels that I read from the previous month and for a recommendation. I'm not going to go through the ones that I didn't recommend, although you could see which ones that I did read through and not recommending. I'm not going to spend any time on those. So we're going to kick it off with Space Ghost, and just to let you know, this is a little DC heavy, and that's just because I got into a DC run here recently. So Space Ghost is one of those cartoons that was from the early 70s, I believe. And, this one here really blew my mind. This is, they had to go back, and this is his origin story. So they went back, and, they start off with, here he is. He's more of a, kind of like a Han Solo, like smuggler, I believe is what he was. But he worked with the government, and he was kind of like put on this sting operation, and it kind of turned on him to where, he was kind of pinned down with some murders or, breaking the law, to where he was kind of exiled. And we go from there, after that he kind of runs into another alien, and we get into how his suit and powers come to be. So, it's kind of like a little bit of alien mind here. This is the guy who kind of finds him and helps him out. So, again, this is a great, excellent storyline that they really went back. Space Ghost, when it started in the cartoon show, I think in the early 70s, it didn't have, he was just there. And he had Jan and Jace with him. And there's no backstory. He was just already a superhero, and, he just got into the action. So, man, these guys did a really great job of creating an origin story for this guy. And they kind of get into Jan and Jace, how they came about, and started to, how Space Ghost kind of like took them under his wing, or why he did. So, yeah, this is really, really great. The artwork here was shockingly, phenomenal in my opinion. So I highly recommend this. I know a lot of people may not have picked this one up or passed this one up, but I think this is a really great superhero origin story, and I think I would really recommend this one. I gave this one like a 4.5 on the artwork and like a 4.75 out of 5 on the storyline. So yeah, I picked that one up, guys. So next up we have The Outsiders, and this is volume number 1. I went back. I've read 1 through 3 so far. But this one is, I think, went back to 2002 or 2003. And again, a lot of these guys used to be on the Titans, or the Teen Titans, and then Titans, and they kind of lost some members, and they kind of go back and form a new team. So this one had a lot of adult humor in here. I don't know very many people who read The Outsiders, to tell you the truth, but you get deep into the character development of these team members extremely quickly. This is really something that I never really read about, and I was thoroughly, I was just immersed into this world so quickly. I just really connected with these various characters, these heroes, quite quickly. You have your android. I won't go through all the characters. Here's a full team up, but I think this was Black Lightning's daughter. This is Arsenal, Nightwing, the android who killed some of the previous members from a previous story arc. I forgot who she was, but she was like one of these invincible strong women. And Metamorpho, he was like I guess we'll get into this a little later, but he's not really Metamorpho. He's really almost like a carbon copy of him, who kind of took on like his own life. So yeah, guys, this one is really, really great. If you like the superhero type, side of things, if you're into the Titans, I would say, go pick this one up. I gave this one, the artwork really wasn't too great. I gave the artwork like a 2.5 out of 5, but the storyline, 4.5 out of 5 in my opinion. So next up, I went back through my Green Lantern run by Jeff Johns. I kind of started at Rebirth, and I went all the way through to New 52 here recently. Out of all of those, man, Sinestro Core War, this is by far the best storyline. I mean, there's so much action in here. There's just so much gore, so much killing in here. The pacing of this storyline really moves. I mean, I burned through this book again. I mean, in just a couple hours. It was really, really, a great read. If you're into Green Lantern, and you don't have this one, I would highly suggest for you to go out and go pick this one up. I mean, you just see so many people just die in this comic, from both sides. Sinestro's out there. He's always had the yellow ring. They kind of go back, after Jeff Johns got into it, you find out the yellow is really Parallax, and that's where it comes from. It's really Fear who drives those rings in lieu of the green willpower. So Sinestro has always been around with the yellow, but they never really explain why. So, here he starts this whole core war, and you start getting glimpses of, as there's, the whole spectrum of light. There's rings for each of the colors now at this point in time. It started with the yellow, and it kind of went through the others, and you kind of get a glimpse of, the colors to come in this one volume here. But really recommend this one. There's great fighting. There's great action in this one. There's there's deaths from both sides. They show it all. You just see floating body parts out in space in a lot of these wars. This one is excellent, guys. If you're into Green Lantern and you don't have this one, go pick it up. My last recommendation for this month is going to be Batman. And, this one here is by Jim Lee. This one came out, I think this is from 2000, so this one's been out for a while. And, I've heard a couple people talk about it. I've heard other people say, oh, it's not that great. I don't know what they're talking about. This was a great action, great storyline on the Batman side. I highly recommend this one if you're a Batman lover and do not have Hush. I highly recommend for you to go pick this one up. The storyline, there's a little bit of a twist to it. I guess you kind of figure out what's going on, or, who's who. But, the storyline is great, the action is great, and the artwork is by Jim Lee. And again, Jim Lee is one of my most favorite artists out there. Highly recommend to pick this one up. I would give this one the art, 4.5 out of 5, and the storyline here was at least a 4.0, 4.25 out of 5. So guys, if you like Batman and you don't have this one, please go pick this one up. Let me know what you think. So that's it. 4 recommendations for this month. I'm reading through another stack right now, so we'll see what we'll have next month. Should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.